Hello, Facebook fam. I'm back. I'm back again, but I'm not shady. As I was getting ready to come on here, that song kept playing in my mind. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell her friends. So I won't sing for you the whole song, but that's what was in my mind. I'm so excited to be here for day 3 of the activation series. As I was preparing for this evening, I was in awe of how much more I can teach beyond these 3 topics and even more deeply within these topics. So I don't know what the next iteration of this will be. Of course, this comes through more deeply when I work with clients, but what I will be sharing with you in the future, who knows what that'll be. I'm excited to see what it is. So I want to recap the last 2 days just really quickly before we get started today, talking about inner authority and trust. On Monday, I spoke about the warrior spirit and how we can be in a fight, and that fight kind of comes from our head, but when we bring it into our body and we really integrate it, it can become our inner warrior. So that we're not always in that protector fight mode, but we can come from a place of the inner authority. So all these that I'm going to speak to are like spirits within us. So I relate the warrior with your body. So your physical body, your physical being, your physical doing. The medicine that I provided for you was for the high achievers. So I'm speaking to high achievers, ambitious, driven, competitive spirits. These are typically performers. So you're a performer in some way in life, in a leadership role, or an athlete role, or leading groups is really where I see most of my clients come from. So the medicine for these individuals in particular, and for all of us, because we don't give ourselves permission for this enough, is play. And actually, because when you're so much in the structure, you need to invite that play in. Sometimes you need to schedule it in. Yesterday, I spoke about the goddess. So the spirit of the goddess. And for women in particular, so the warrior, since it's connected to the physical body, physical being, physical doing, that's more of the masculine. So if we want to invite more of the feminine in to harmonize with our masculine within our body, the goddess can do that. The goddess connects us with our feminine energy. And we all have these energies within us. It's not dependent upon if you're male or female. And we lean into one more than the other. And a lot of females in particular, I see, lean into the masculine a lot more than the feminine. Or we can be in a disempowered feminine state or a disempowered masculine state. And I'm not going to dive into that right now, but with the goddess spirit, the medicine is really worshiping the divine within. And you can do that through also pleasure. So connecting to the things that make you feel pleasure. And we all know the physical act of sex and orgasm does that, but there are other things that bring pleasure in our lives. So not only that. And then today we're going to tap into the Empress energy, the Empress spirit. And I really connect the Empress with the mind. So being sovereign, a sovereign ruler over your mind, and how that can help you take more responsibility for your reality, take more responsibility for your energy, your consciousness, tapping into your intuition, all the things that I've talked about over the past few days, and really gives you a deeper sense of self-trust. I see it all the time in my clients and they'll even ask, like, I want to feel more trusting in myself and more trusting in my body, especially if you've dealt with some sort of injury or health challenge or illness. Building back that trust in the body can be specifically challenging, or you're not really sure where the boundaries are with that, the boundaries between you and the boundaries between your body. I realized yesterday in talking about energy specifically that I did not talk about energetic boundaries. Or I maybe touched on it, but there's so much more that goes on there, and which can go on in the body as well when we have an injury or health challenge. So I just want to make mention of that if that's something you feel like is present for you or that you're challenged by. So all of these, this warrior, this goddess, this empress, these are really avatars for you to play with. So I had shared with you that I see on one end of the spectrum the high achiever in their driving and ambition. That's in the driver's seat of their life. And on the other end, they become exhausted or challenged by things in the reality in some way. And then there are these three aspects of self between those extremes that can be more connected, more integrated. And so that's what I really see as being the empress, the goddess, and the warrior. So these are avatars you can step into on various playing fields of life. They can help bring you back to center, help you gain alignment, and have sustainable practices for yourself. And that really leads to more embodiment, more mastery, so self-mastery, and really being able to step into your leadership in an empowering way. And that's what will move. So if you're leading groups or you have a tribe, that's what really builds momentum among your tribe. So that's what they feel from you. So it gives a voice. It allows you to speak your truth. It allows you to ask for what you want. It allows you to hold boundaries. This is the magic of these three avatars, personas, whatever you want to call them, but integrating them as they work for you in your world, because you can make them your own. Hello, Alex. Good to see you. I wore the pom-poms. So what do I want to tell you about trust and inner authority? So your inner authority helps you gain a deeper sense of self-mastery. So really knowing yourself, so trusting yourself, trusting your ability to discern in situations, trusting your ability to care for yourself, and trusting your body. Okay, so those are 4 different areas in which we can gain deeper knowing and deeper trust through our inner authority. Okay, so deep trust helps you tame your fear. We all have fear. We all know what it's like to be fearful and not want to take action. And then we kind of do this dance with ourselves of, what do I do? What do I do? When usually we know what we need to do. It's just being able to communicate it, to take action on it. So this deep trust that tames your fears can allow you to feel more safe in your body and in situations, because a lot of times when we have fear, we don't really feel safe and grounded in our bodies. Or what it brings up within the body is tense feelings. So our shoulders rise. We might get tension headaches. So that's the feel of, one of my friends calls it a relaxed, you really want to go for a relaxed muscle body. And when we feel safe, we can have a relaxed muscle body. When we don't feel safe, then we have a really tense, constricted muscle body. And the physiology that's running behind that makes it harder to take action. It makes it harder to move out of that fear. So the more safe we can feel, the more trust we have in ourselves to discern, to take care of ourselves, to know our bodies, then we can feel more satisfied. We can be in more appreciation when in where we stand and where we want to go. Okay, so the space can be a delicate balance sometimes when we're not really sure what's next. And yesterday I shared about consciousness and the way that we receive support and guidance, or where our intuition can come in and speak to us, is through our consciousness. So you actually have to be tapped into your intuition, to be tapped into your body. You have to feel safe. You have to feel safe there. You have to have a strong inner knowing of self, a strong trust in yourself, so that you can then take action from there, that you can stand behind, that you can really take responsibility for, hey, maybe I take action on this thing and it doesn't work out. Or maybe I take action and it works out better than I thought it would. So it can go both ways. We know that. But when we take responsibility, like full radical responsibility for our lives, for our realities, and I see it all the time, and I know because I've done it, there might be aspects of my life where I take a lot of responsibility and some where I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm going to back up a little bit. But when we can really step into that, it takes a strong level of trust and inner authority to speak what it is that wants to come through, or take action on what it is that wants to come through. When we don't feel safe in our body in a situation, then it's going to be a lot harder for that to occur. Okay? I feel like I'm saying okay a lot today. So I wanted to provide you with some actionable items today. So I have a little inventory for you, and it's 2 questions that if you want to, even if you're watching the replay, you can drop the answers below, or if you want to DM me the answers or keep them private, whatever. But this can tell you or guide you in knowing the level of trust that you have. And you can do this within the various aspects of your life and find out, hey, I really have a lot of trust in myself here, but not so much here. So are you someone who reaches for things that make you happy, or do you deny them to yourself? So this goes back to that pleasure aspect yesterday. And there may be some areas in life that you do that and some areas where you don't. Okay, so that's one question that you can do a self-inventory to find out where your level of trust lies. You can even put it on a 1 through 10 scale or just journal about it. The next question is, can you relax? Like really relax. So this goes to that safety I was speaking about, knowing that things in life will unfold for you as they're meant to, or do you stress over it? Are you someone that finds yourself in stress over things so often and like trying to make it happen? I spoke to this earlier this week somewhere, maybe within this series. Sometimes I can't remember like where it all shows up, but I know I've spoken to it. If you're trying to really make something happen and make it happen your way because this is the way to do it, then you're not allowing the space for things to unfold and for you to actually meet that unfolding. So you can still take action towards it, but not be so disciplined, or discipline's not even really the word, not be so hard on how it's supposed to happen. Hard is the word that comes up for me more than discipline, because I think discipline is actually very necessary in your practice. So in general, Alex says, in general, I reach for things that make me happy. That is awesome. Awesome sauce. I do and I don't. I know there are some times I don't. And I don't think it's from a place of denial. It's somewhere else. It's like on a spectrum, but not denial. So it's like a worthiness. And that goes back to that goddess energy. Like, am I worthy? Yes, I'm freaking worthy. And then taking that action. So I think sometimes it can be, and this comes up a lot for women, that feeling of worthiness. And I think it comes up because of like the collective conscious a lot of times and how we've been conditioned. It's not because somebody could have told us that we're unworthy, but, we usually learn these things along the way, and then we carry them with us when they actually need to be released because they're not serving us anymore. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, to do that little self-inventory, really how to transform any of these blocks that come up, or these fears that come up, or energy that just feels heavy or stagnant in your body, is really through love. So it's that love piece, like loving yourself more deeply, trusting yourself more deeply. So I'd really start there, and coming to center and coming to presence is the big thing, and taking action through that. I see all the comments and I want to minimize them for a second, but I don't think I can. So really coming to that present moment and taking action from there, versus letting the big picture skew you or get you confused. It's really that center. And I keep doing this over and over again. It's coming back home. It's coming back to yourself. And that's why building more trust in self, and more trust in actually, when you say you're going to do something, even for yourself, not for other people. Yes, of course you can do things for other people, but when you can keep your word to yourself first, that's going to build more trust. That's going to build more confidence. That's going to allow you to take action when things are challenging. And then within these energies or spirits that I brought up of the Empress, Goddess, and Warrior, you can use those personas as tapping into an ascended part of yourself, or your higher self, that they can actually help you step beyond your comfort zone. Because a lot of us have trouble with that. We have trouble really stepping into our leadership. We really have trouble sometimes stepping into our power. And I don't mean power over someone, but power within yourself to do to ask for what you want, to voice what you want, to step into your next level of life. All of those things come into play. So anytime you're feeling stuck or challenged and you can't move and what's next, you have to come back to yourself. So check out the inventory if you're just hopping on. There's 2 questions that you can ask yourself to gain more insight into your level of inner authority and trust. And if any of what I've shared with you over the past few days has resonated with you, I want you to reach out to me, or I invite you to reach out to me and have a conversation about it. Ask questions. You can even ask questions in the comments, but if it's something that you feel is more private, I am here to chat with you. So feel free to do that, and I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and thank you so much for being here and absorbing this information. And that's all I have today. Of course we could go a lot deeper, but gotta keep it simple for now. Bye.